Hello everybody and welcome today to our presentation. Today we're going to be discussing for Chapter 10 Resource Management Plan for the PMP exam. It's very important that to understand the principles of the HR, the human resources, the rules and responsibilities of all the teams who are completely working onto the project. Top of the pyramid, let's talk about the project management, right? So a project manager, he is a person, right, who should be equipped with knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques, right? And in order to able to meet the customer requirement, and that would meet the scope of the project, right? So the project management, right, he has responsibilities, right, towards the stakeholders, and as well, he needs to meet and to manage, right, the resources as well to work in cooperative with the team members, stakeholders, by having the responsibility assignment matrix, which shows the role and responsibility of each resource into the project. The project sponsor, right, he's the one who is at the triple point of the pyramid, the top from the project management. And he's the one who is actually sponsoring the project. He's the one who's funding the resources. He's the one who's providing with the resources that the project manager will utilize into the project. So the project sponsor is being considered as being the initiator. He is the person who provides with the financial resources to the project and as well resources. Project sponsor, he plays a very important role into the project, right? He provides with the requirements that are needed to be met, right? And as well, he is being one of the project stakeholders, right? As well, he is being considered as the champion of the project, right? And while the project being concepts being set together, okay? He is being the voice of the spokesperson. He's the one who engage with the client, right? And he's the one who get the requirements, right? And he's the one who facilitates the communication to the project management, right, with the upper management and with the customer. As well, he provides with support, okay, to the project, right? As well, he ensures that there is a buy-in, a team buy-in throughout the organization. He's the one who funds the project, okay? He's the one who provides with the scope statement of work, and that is not being done by the customer, right? So the customer sometimes, because he doesn't have the time in order to explain what needs to be done and everything, so the sponsor, he acts as a user proxy, right, towards the customer, and he's the one who's going to be accepting the product, right, and on behalf of the customer. He provides information regard to the scope, right? And he's the one who might set the milestones of the delivery, right? So he's the one who's going to set, for example, milestone 1, we're going to be having the delivery of the business document. Milestone 2, it will be the design and the SRS, for example. Design milestone 3, the implementation of the project of the product, and 4th, the training and all that. So he's the one who's going to be constituting into the contract what are the sort of milestones to be set into the project. As well, he's the one who sets the priorities, right? And priorities has been set by the terms of the constraints that's been outlined by the customer, right? As well, he helps with the information, okay, to provide what to be included into the project charter. He's the one who considers in the charter the project management with authority onto the project, right? He helps to organize, okay, the process that will be contributed throughout the project. He's the one who, as we said, he sets the priorities among the projects, right? As well, he encourages the finalization of the requirement by stakeholders and provide with a formal acceptance. He's the one who performs the scope validation, right, towards the project. So, but during the planning phase, the project sponsor has other rules to play. He provides with the time to plan, right? He may review the work breakdown section along with the project manager. He as well supplies the list of risks that could be considered into the project, okay? He determines the form of reports that is being needed to be considered throughout the project, whether a status, a progress, a trend report, right, a forecast report to be provided, progress report bi-weekly, status report monthly, and forecast after the progress being given, right? And the trend report is given from time to time to say whether the project is progressing out or be progressing. He's being an expert judgment, right? And he's a subject matter expertise. He can provide with his expertise through an experience on how to contribute through delivering the strategic goals of the organizations, right? And how to deliver and to deal with the clients. Okay. He helps as well to evaluate the trade-offs between whether the project requires to be crashed, right? So in case of crashing, it means we need more extra money from the budget being set. Faster tracking, it means we overlap those activities, okay, or we need to perform re-estimation, and he's the one who approves the final project management being built by the project management in the team, and then he gives the go decision, right, in order to start executing the project. During execution and monitor control, right, so he protects the project from outside influencer and changes, right? He tries as much as possible to eliminate any change into the project. He enforces the quality standards to be applied throughout the project. He provides with subject matter expertise, okay? As well, he provides with whether we, as we said, fast tracking or crashing, or estimating. He resolves any conflicts into the project. He is the one who is being part of the CCP, the Change Control Board, who performs what we call integrate change control, accept or reject the changes. As well, he's the one who directs the quality assurance for auditing process, whether internal, right, or external to what being delivered to the customer with high quality TQM. Work with the project management in order to monitor the progress. During closure, right, he's the one who provides with formal acceptance to the deliverables, supports in collecting historical information that's set into the organizational process asset that will help the project management and the team in order to recall for other previous project as a historical records, and they can reuse it, right, for their estimations in the current project, and they can as well take the expertise what had been conducted during that project level. So the team, when it comes to the rule, right, team is being the group of people who will complete the work on the project, right? And teams, right, they might be rotated, right, from time to time, or we call it, they are adjourning. They are set from one project and then they go to another project. So the rule of the team is that they help in planning, they identify and involve the stakeholders. They need to know what are the requirements that they're going to develop that will meet the demand of the stakeholders. They will able to identify throughout their planning what are the constraints, the factor that limits the way to need to deliver the project, and that might turn to issues and then to risks. The assumptions, the affirmative, deformative things that might occur during the project, they contribute throughout building and decomposing the work breakdown structure by doing the bottom-up estimation in order to estimate the time, the cost of the project, and the scope, and the resource allocation, and the risks associated on each work package, right? Decompose the work packages, whether they're going to use the 880, right? The time spent for a small project from 8 hours to 80 hours a maximum for decomposing a work package, or if it's a big project, it might take up to maximum 200 hours we spent through whole the WPS to decompose that big project. As well, they help in identifying the dependencies in between the activities, and that's done during the network diagramming using the PDM or the ADM, the resistance diagramming model, or the activity diagramming model. They're the one they provide with a time and the cost estimate, right, of each work that will be delivered. They participate as well into the risk management to identify what are the risks that could cause limitations to the delivery, how to mitigate, how to have a risk response plan in place, whether we have an opportunity, how we can enhance or exploit that opportunity, comply with the quality and communication plan, enforce the ground rules, okay, execute the project management to accomplish the work as being defined into the scope, attend the project team meetings, conduct process improvement and quality improvement, and recommended changes, including the recommended corrective actions and the corrective actions. And always it's been advantage to have a recommended and a proactive solution compared to corrective action. So who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are those peoples, right, whom they are maybe positively or negatively affect their interest into the project. So anyone who's working on the project, whether internal or external, is being known as a stakeholder. Project management, the team, the portfolio, with the PMO, or the customer is being an external stakeholder. So the stakeholders, right, they may be involved in building the project structure and the scope statement, right? They as well contribute in helping in planning for the project. They are the ones whom they are part of the CCP, right, change control board, who to perform with accepting or rejecting those changes. They are the ones that are going to formalize the acceptance of the delivery. They're the one going to tell us what are the constraints that could be affected throughout the project that being taken. They're the one who will provide with the requirements. They're the one they will be contributed and engaged into the risk management with their changes that they may perform. They may become the risk response owner, right, for the risks that are being associated from their side because of their keeping changing and keep of not contributing throughout the project, which could be the main risk coming from their side. The functional management, right, are those functional units. So we call them as the silos. And silos, it means that each department has a head or a VP of a head of department, and it means concise, right, towards the rule of that department. So those are the individuals, okay, that they manage or they own resources for a specific department. Compromising up could be the IT department, for example, engineering, public application, or marketing. So they direct the technical work for their units and the functional units, how to work onto the project. So the functional manager, they assign specific individuals, right, on how to negotiate with the project manager regarding the resources. Let the project manager know about how the project will be impacted. So in their functional area, they will be able to have a way of communication with the project management. Well, those factors are going to be affecting our side of our project. So they need to communicate it with the project manager. Participate in the initial planning in order to provide with the work packages. What are the work packages that are going to be delivered? They're bringing a subject matter expertise in their area, so they will provide. Okay, take an example. Today, you're as a project manager managing a project for a finance department. So the functional management of the finance department, right, will be meeting with you as a project manager to provide you with the requirements so that you can build up the software application that will compromise their solution for building that application. Again, he's going to be providing with the approval of the schedule plan. For example, when I say the client, well, we're going to provide you with that financial module. It will take us around, let's say, 3 months. So he's the one who's going to approve that time schedule. So again, approves the final project management plan during the project management plan development, recommends any changes such as corrective actions, manage activities throughout the functional management, assist for problems with the team performance, right, and how they are being tackling that problems and how they're identifying and knowing the root cause of the problem and how they act towards it, and as well looking on the response time taken to solve that, as well improve the staff utilizations. So the project management, as we said, it plays a critical important role in managing the project. Main thing is to achieve the project objectives. So it's very important that the sponsor assigns the project management as early as possible during the project initiation as early as possible. It needs to be included in the project charter. Project charter is being given the contract of the project, which says to the all stakeholders that we're officially going to start the project. He's being charged of the project, okay, but not necessarily the resources. He does not have to be a technical expertise, but it's well recommended to be, okay. He has the influence of the organization. Make sure that he communicates vertically and horizontally. Vertically with top executive, horizontal with his peers, as well as subordinates, right? And he's been very important to build a culture environment, workable culture environment that lets his team to be an energized and they work and they deliver. So to ensure that there is an interaction between the project team and the stakeholders, coordinate between the project and the stakeholders, provide with a process to the project. He needs to analyze the constraint assumptions throughout the project. That's the root of project management. He is the one who lead and direct the planning efforts. He needs to know what are the dependencies in between the activities as well. It's his responsibility if he provide with unrealistic estimates. He needs to understand as well the social and the professional forces. He needs to deliver quality. Okay. He needs to assist the team KPIs. Okay. He needs to have a change process management, that's a version control, as well as the change request to be maintained, right? And only to perform the approved change request based on the CCP change control polls, their approval or rejection. He needs to have measurement, right, to monitor and controlling the project and contribute against the project plan and other metrics that can use into the projects as the scheduling plan to identify that the deliverables are being met on time. So it's very important to have a metric skill. He needs to work with cooperative with the whole team, keep the team member focused on risk management and possible risks responses. Thank you very much for your today contribution to our HR resource management for PMP exam. Um, for having the full chapter and the exams questions, and that we contribute and encourage you to join us with Soft Academy, right, for the training course and to get your pass through your PMP exam. Thank you very much for your time, and it has been a great pleasure for meeting you.